This channel is for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions.
Hi, this is Joe Rabil, and what I want to do today is give a quick update on the market. Going to go through some indices, going to look at some commodities, going to look at some sector action, and just give you kind of an update. I haven't done this in a while. I thought it would be worthwhile. All right, let's go ahead and get going. Now, if you want to learn some of the techniques that I'm using to analyze this, I would suggest starting with my book. You can go to the link in the description and click on that to find out more. Also, if you do enjoy the content, please hit that like button and also subscribe. Okay, so I'm going to start out with the SPY. I'm not going to go into as much detail as I normally would in an SPY update because I'm going to cover a lot of different things today. All right, so what I will say, though, is that it looks to me like, our initial target for a deeper pullback here, which looks like what this wants to do, is down around the 6,500 area for the S&P. If we look at it from a using the spider, we're somewhere around 650 to 655, in that ballpark area. All right. Now, I'm actually thinking, though, because of the way this is played out, we're in a downtrend on the daily. We're below a declining 18, which is below a declining 40. And we have a low ADX breakout pattern in place with MACD confirming. And we have a declining 18 on the weekly. So we're already below that, and it's declining. Now, I know there's a 40-week. That's a 200-day. That's an important, obviously an important line. But just based on the way this is acting, I wouldn't be surprised if we head down to the 18-month line, which is right on the on this index. The SPY is right around 630. It's rising. It's probably could meet up with it a little bit higher. But, there's certainly some risk of that taking place just based on the way this has set itself up. We don't have any kind of volume that suggests that we're anywhere near a climax. This should expand when we're getting near any kind of a low. So kind of important to recognize. Now, if we come down to the 62, 6,300 area, I think that would be, to me, it'd be a little surprising just based on the underlying patterns, which look pretty attractive. But it could be something, a short-lived dip, wash out some of the bulls that are out there, get more bears out there, and that could set a really good bottom. All right, let's take a look at, we'll take a look at the Nasdaq. Not a whole lot different. We have this same sort of corrective pattern developing on the weekly. And again, it looks to me like this should work its way and catch up with the 18-month line. I think that's what would make sense to me. Now, it doesn't have to drop down to that level. It could meet up with it in, at the halfway point or something like that at 21.5 or somewhere in that range. But it does look like there's a little bit more downside risk there. All right, let's take a look at gold. So, we've made obviously made a pretty big run. We had this sign of what a lot of people were thinking was climatic activity, but I just think it's increase in volatility. I don't know that I would consider it an end of the move, although we could correct a little bit more before there's upside continuation. We still have a decent amount of momentum in place. Now, one thing I am watching here is the DI lines. Now, if you notice, we have green DI holding this low, and we've got red DI, which has marginally broken above the prior two peaks. So if we get any more decline in the DI lines, that would increase the likelihood that this is going to be in a correction and probably work its way back down towards the 18 on this time frame for the first time in a while. All right, so something to keep an eye out for. Just based on the way it's trading, it does look a little tired. Could certainly take a little bit of a breather, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the end of the run. All right, but I would be watching this green DI to see if that breaks and takes out those lows. That would be, I think, fairly important. All right, here's the obviously one of the most important thing that's developing here is this move that's taking place in crude. And the energy stocks are trading really well. They were trading well prior to this spike in oil. Most times, individual stocks in energy will lead the commodity. Now, we get this breakout. I think this is actually pretty important. We're taking out some key areas. We're turning the moving average to the upside. But one thing that really caught my eye is this low ADX condition on the monthly chart. And we had a low ADX on the weekly, and now we're getting strength. So you really want to play any kind of a pullback in this index, and especially in the energy stocks. I think you'd want to be looking for pullbacks as buying opportunities. The other thing that I'm watching really closely here is the 10-year Treasury yield. Okay, now if we look at this is the monthly. The monthly doesn't look like anything's happening, although if you notice, the MACD was really overbought and now has worked its way back down to the zero line, and we have a low ADX condition. But this is the lower time frame. If I were to switch this to a quarterly chart, you can see what's happened. We had a strong move to the upside. We've been consolidating. We formed a pinch, and we have strong momentum. This is setting up for another move to the upside. I mean, this is very important for everybody. I hope everyone's paying attention to this. If this clicks in on the monthly chart and actually triggers to the upside, which I would say is coming up through like 430, 435, something like that, to me would be incredibly important in, if you're interested in refinancing your home, or if you're looking to buy a house, or, if you think about it, the stock market hasn't had a lot of competition. But if this were to move up, like the longer term chart of this is suggesting, we're going to have competition, because you could put money away in rates risk free if this were to jump high enough. So just some important implications that could take place from that. Also that's happening here, I think that's important, is the US dollar. I don't have the intraday on this, but you can see we've made a little double bottom. It looks like it might want to rally back up, and I think if we can cross back above the 100 mark, then that might put a little bit of a damper on these foreign funds, which have made an incredible run and have started to give back some off the high. People got so wrapped up in these. I mean, I was hearing about these left and right. I mean, I bought these a year ago, and I was recommending to my guys a year ago, and now everybody's talking about these foreign funds, and I think it's a little late, at least in the short term. They probably go through a decent correction, but it'll be confirmed. To me, it'll be a lot more important. If this breaks above the 100 mark, I think that would be fairly positive for this index. I don't know that it's going to turn into some bullish move, crazy to the upside, but I think it would increase the bias to the upside. Okay, let's take a quick look at a couple of these sector spiders. So we got a nice breakout in the XLB. Now, what's interesting is this represents the metals too, right? And this hasn't really moved yet. All of a sudden, they're starting to kick in. This is coming from other areas like specialty chemicals, some regular chemicals. We also have some copper, which has taken place here recently with a pretty powerful breakout, and a couple other areas like that. That's somewhat interesting. This is the energy area I was talking about. I mean, energy sector. Look at this breakout. Look at what happened to the MACD. It was way overbought, and then it's worked its way back down to the zero line, and now it's turning up. This is most likely the start of something. Low ADX here, low ADX. This is probably most likely the start of something, not the end of something. Okay. Now, I do think this is really important. Look at what's taking place in the financials, okay? We've gotten a pretty strong move to the downside below both the 18 and the 40 week. We're breaking the 18-month line. MACD has rolled over. So this is a concern, because it's very hard for the market typically to do exceptionally well on the upside when financials are not trading well. So this is a concern. It's really, it's a pretty big component of the S&P as well. So I think this adds some more risk to what's taking place in that S&P chart. One of the strongest areas, and if you start going and looking at the individual names like I do, there's a lot of attractive patterns in the industrial space. Now, they are pulling back right now. How they pull back is relevant to me. We're going to have to see how they handle that. But I do think this is an area to kind of keep an eye on. XLK, very much like the QQQ or the Nasdaq, correcting right now, but not breaking down. All right. I know they've lost some of their relative strength, but they haven't broken down yet, so we have to keep an eye on them. XLRE is another one that I would keep an eye out. There's some pretty attractive patterns developing here. So I think if this can come up through 44, that would be incredibly bullish for that index. And then let's take a look at the healthcare. Healthcare has been showing signs of improvement, but this most recent action puts that on hold for now. I don't see this breaking out above 160 anytime soon. I think we're looking at a couple months of consolidation at the very least. So I would cool your jets on any healthcare buying right now. All right, that's the update. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll see you next time.